Hello, you're watching VNA Bulletin from Hanoi. Let's check out the highlights.
Vietnam hosts flag raising ceremony for submarines. Quảng Ninh orders evacuation of residents in landslide areas. Industrial production rises nearly 10% in 7 months.
A formal ceremony has been held to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Vietnam-Mozambique diplomatic ties. Vietnamese Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải attended the event as part of his visit to the African country.
At the ceremony held on July the 31st, both Vietnamese Deputy Foreign Minister Vũ Hồng Nam and his Mozambican counterpart Nie Leti Monlane expressed their pleasure at the fine development of the bilateral ties over the past 40 years. They noted that the Vietnamese Deputy Prime Minister Hai's visit to Mozambique would promote closer trade, investment and development ties between the two countries. Also on July the 31st, the Deputy Prime Minister paid a courtesy visit to the Speaker of Mozambican Parliament, Veronica Macamo. The Mozambican speaker expressed her desire to see the more exchange programs in the fields of law, trade and economics between the two nations. Before leaving the Mozambique for South Africa, Deputy Prime Minister Hai visited the Movitel Telecommunications Company, one of Mozambique's top 3 biggest telecom companies. The company is the joint venture between the Vietnam Military Telecommunication Group and Mozambican telecommunication industry.
A flag-raising ceremony for 2 new submarines was solemnly conducted at Cam Ranh Military Port in the central coastal province of Khánh Hòa on August 1st. Let's take a look.
Addressing the ceremony, Rear Admiral Phạm Hoài Nam stressed these Kilo-class submarines would mark a new development of the Vietnam People's Navy in particular and the Vietnam People's Army in general. These submarines would contribute to safeguarding the country's sovereignty over sea and island, added the Rear Admiral. The HQ-184 Hải Phòng and HQ-185 Khánh Hòa are 2 out of 6 636 Kilo-class submarines that Vietnam ordered from Russia. Last year, Russia handed over to Vietnam HQ-182 Hanoi and HQ-183 Ho Chi Minh City submarines.
Heavy rains continue pouring in the country's northeast on August 1st. Quảng Ninh Authority has ordered the evacuation of all local residents in areas with high possibility of landslides.
On August the 1st, Secretary of the Quảng Ninh Provincial Party Committee Nguyễn Văn Đọc visited Mr. Cao Tiến Vĩ, one of the victims who are seriously injured in the recent rainstorm. The rainstorm and subsequent flash floods claimed 8 lives of V's family. V is the sole surviving member, luckily saved by the rescue force. The provincial authorities provided him with a land lot covering 70 square meters in the resettlement area of Hạ Long City. Quảng Ninh Province presents $2,500 to families with their collapsed houses and over $1,000 to those whose residence was severely damaged to the rainstorm. A low-pressure area in northeast Vietnam created the heaviest rainstorm in the 40 years. Quảng Ninh recorded 17 people dead, 6 fishermen still missing, and $91.66 million cost in damage. Heavy downpour has also occurred in the northern provinces of Lạng Sơn, Cao Bằng, Bắc Kạn, and Hà Giang. Low-lying areas in Hải Phòng, Thái Bình, and Nam Định are also highly prone to inundation. Meanwhile, water level in the Hồng Thái Bình river system is expected to rise by 2 to 7 meters as the rain continues.
The Industrial Production Index in July grew by 11.3% over the same period last year, contributing to a year-on-year increase of 9.9% in the first 7 months of this year.
The General Statistics Office reported that the northern province of Thái Nguyên took the lead with registered growth of some 217%. It was followed by the central province of Quảng Nam and the northern port city of Hải Phòng. In the two biggest cities of Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, the industrial production index expanded by over 7% and 6.5% respectively. During the period, the country counted over 52,000 business startups, a year-on-year rise of nearly 23%. Businesses committed $31.48 billion in total newly registered and supplemented capital to the local economy over the past 7 months.
The southern province of Dong Nai imported some $7.9 million worth of commodities in the first 7 months of this year, while its exports exceeded $8.4 billion, reaching a trade surplus of $500 million.
According to the Provincial Department of Industry and Trade, the province's exports in July rose by 5.8% from the previous month to $1.4 billion. Its key export earners continued to expand in July, including footwear, garments, textiles, bags, purses, suitcases and hats, among others. The locality has expanded the availability of its export products in dozens of overseas markets, notably the US, which grabbed 30% of Dong Nai's total exports along with China, Japan, the Republic of Korea, Hong Kong and the Netherlands.
The revised housing law came into effect on July 1st, opening many opportunities for foreigners and overseas Vietnamese to own houses in Vietnam. However, people are waiting for a one-stop-shop mechanism to group all necessary procedures for buying and selling houses.
Having lived in Vietnam for 14 years, Vietnamese American Nguyễn Vĩnh Chen is now able to own a home in Ho Chi Minh City, thanks to the revised 2014 housing law. Yet he has met with red tape arising from administrative procedures related to owning a house.
It would be better to establish a special agency tasked with receiving and handling relevant procedures. I had to ask many competent agencies about necessary papers for buying a house. It is extremely time-consuming.
In fact, Vietnamese authorities issued Resolution 19-2008 on piloting permission for foreign organizations and individuals to purchase and own residential houses in Vietnam, but only about 200 foreign entities managed to buy a house. Therefore, the revised housing law is good news for both buyers and property businesses. Despite its existing shortcomings, the new legislation is believed to build trust in the property market in the remaining months of this year.
We believe that the flow of foreign remittance and direct investment to the Vietnamese property market will rise this year and in years to come.
In anticipation of an increase in foreign remittance and investment in the market, a number of property companies have taken the initiative in offering high-end property products dedicated to foreigners and overseas Vietnamese with high income.
The new legislation enables real estate developers to access demanding foreign customers. Property companies in turn must improve their products to better meet customer needs.
The revised housing law is set to boost the Vietnamese property market, especially the high-end segment for foreigners, in the remaining months of this year. However, experts said many excessive investments have been poured into the domestic property market so far.
We should not have high hopes for foreign customers and overseas Vietnamese, but we must scrutinize their demand for houses regardless. Due attention should be paid to expanding social housing projects to better meet low-income buyer demand.
That the first 5 months of this year were positive for the property market, with 14,000 successful transactions recorded in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Meanwhile, foreign investment in property was ranked second among FDI inflows in Vietnam.
For generations of Hanoians, the iconic Long Biên Bridge spanning the Rak River has become synonymous with their daily life. After many discussion of the future of the century of bridge, Hanoi authorities have agreed to build a new bridge in the vicinity of the Long Biên Bridge.
The 116-year-old bridge spans 3 centuries and is considered an important and central part of Hanoi's development and history. Long Biên Bridge was designed by world-renowned engineer Gustave Eiffel, who also designed the famous Eiffel Tower in Paris. It was inaugurated in 1902 after 3 years of construction. At that time, it was the only bridge spanning the Red River connecting Hanoi and Hải Phòng port city. The French first named it Paul Doumer Bridge, but Vietnam changed its name to Long Biên Bridge after Hanoi was liberated in 1954. Architects have declared that there are no other bridges in Vietnam with the same ages and unique beauty as Long Biên.
In the 20th century, Long Biên Bridge was one of the largest ever bridges in Vietnam, Asia, and the world.
Long Biên serves as a daily reminder of an unforgettable past which witnessed Hanoi's struggle against French repression. The steel structure stands firm thanks to Vietnamese generation's efforts to protect and repair it during the country's resistance war against the French and US troops.
The space under the Long Biên Bridge witnessed the Hanoi Capital Regiment's feat of arms in struggling against French troops over 60 days and nights in 1946. It was great that the Vietnamese forces were willing to die to defend the bridge and the capital city.
The bridge was used to transport weapons and goods from the north to the center of Vietnam during battles against the French. The steel structure itself witnessed the withdrawal of French troops from Hanoi and welcomed Vietnamese soldiers to liberate the capital in 1954. It was bombed many times by the US between 1967 and 1972. As a result, 7 of 9 spans and 4 large pillars were destroyed. Immediately, the process of repairing the bridge was conducted over several days to ensure traffic flows. Instead of serving as a reminder of wartime past, which resulted in so much loss, the bridge has become a symbol of hope and culture, beautifying Hanoi, the city of peace. Crowds of young people take photos for souvenirs or wedding albums at the bridge as visitors stroll around to enjoy the fresh air and catch a panoramic view of the city.
Long Biên Bridge is very unique, representing the ancient beauty of Hanoi. We like taking photos here.
Hanoi authorities have essentially agreed on the building of a new bridge spanning the Hồng River 75 meters from the downgrading Long Biên Bridge. This is excellent news for Hanoians who want to preserve the bridge as part of their sweet and sour memories. Its construction looks to take various relevant factors into account, including the conservation of the old quarter, waterway traffic convenience, dike safety, and architectural harmony with the Long Biên Bridge and the whole area. The bridge's profile is being compiled for recognition as a national heritage.
That concludes our bulletin. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.